What's going on, YouTubers? This is C4 Destroyer from Reviewdork, and today I'll be going over the tips and tricks on how to use tone effectively in Titanfall 2. I'll give you that and more right after this break. So really quick, let's take a look at Tone. If you look at the bottom right hand side, you'll see that he has 2 stars across the board for health, damage, and also mobility. With that being said, he becomes a very fair and easy Titan to navigate with and use. Now all we have to do is complement his balanced statistics, if you will, and try to use that to our benefit as a player. So the first thing I like to mention, in the Titan kit, I like to use the extra dash. He already has 2 already, so I like to add the 3rd one on there just to make him a little bit more agile throughout the map. It allows me to go in and out of tough situations. If I want to pursue a pilot, I can, and also if I want to pursue a Titan, I'll have an up on him, if you will, just because I have that extra dash available to me. As far as the Tone kit itself, I like to use the reinforced particle wall. Tone has a particle wall, but with this perk, it actually allows the particle wall to be up there longer and take more damage over time. So that helps me out a little bit more as far as putting a defense, or if I want to have an offense while hiding behind the wall, I can do that. And then the third thing I like to mention is the Titanfall kit. I always use Warpfall. You'll see it in all my videos. I like to use my Titan as a weapon, and when I call him down, I want to drop it on another Titan to save me a lot of time. So as far as what Tone is able to use, he has a tracker cannon which shoots these ginormous rounds of ammo, and they're single shots, so you have to constantly hit the trigger. His core is a salvo core. You'll just have a barrage of missiles that just completely flood your enemy. And then you have the tracker rockets. Now when you actually make landing hits on another Titan, it actually allows you to sync up and have these targets. I believe 3 critical hits allows you to use the tracking rockets, and it goes red. There are different perks to make that smaller. If you use the sonar, which you can see there, the sonar lock with Y, if you are able to track somebody, that counts as 1 hit. And then if you get another hit on them, that counts as 2. And then on the 3rd, you can use the RB button to fire the rockets off. And then LB is obviously the particle wall. So with that being said, you see the setup we have now. We'll jump into a game and see how I effectively use Tone. Hometown and last Titan standing. Let's go. Let's do this. Alright, so usually the first side note I like to make with Tone is that you can veer off by yourself for a little bit. You still want to stay a little close to your teammates, but because of his particle wall, you can defend yourself pretty good. Sonar, I don't see anybody. Get ready to hit LB when you find the enemy.
Our position is compromised. Multiple Titans attack.
Remember, you're a distance fighter, so you want to use that. Use that sonar wall when you can. Keep spotting them. It helps you guys out. Come on, brother. Okay, so there's only 2 out. The minute you see the enemy, use that particle wall, bro.
Warning, we are taking critical damage. Advise taking cover.
Got him. And execute when you can, bruh. Boom. There we go. So you saw right there, I only got one Titan kill. It was with the execution, but when you can, always put up that particle wall. That is something I was always doing. I was by myself at times. I stuck around just a little bit, not too far off by myself, but the particle wall helped. Tone's gun, his primary, actually has a lot of range, so you want to use that as well. And then if they get too close and they try to get into your particle wall, use that smoke. So at least, yeah, they got behind your particle wall, but they're still going to take damage if they decide to push forward into that particle wall. Let him get that. Yep, use cover. That's definitely something you want to do. There we go. There goes the next one. Next one. There we go. So I kept, every time I kept hitting him and got the salvo to shoot off, I always used it. You know, it's that 1, 2, 3 hit, 1, 2, 3 hit. You just keep doing it. You know, don't be afraid to use your surroundings at all. Hide behind buildings. You saw when I was going against that Ion, I hid behind that piece of the building there. There's no problem with that. So now I'm sitting on top of the team with 3 Titan kills.
They don't stand a chance. We're winning big time. Good moves, pilot.
Can't go this way, so that's a bad way to go. I'm gonna head left. It's a little bit of open area. Ah, found them all. Little lagadocious. And use that as soon as I got it.
Impressive work, pilot. They didn't stand a chance.
So I waited patiently using the salvo core, but you know, it was a perfect opportunity. They weren't looking at me. You just fire it all off and get all those kills that way. So I think I did fairly well. I got 5 Titans in this game using Tone. And I think I did a good job using all of his abilities at once and using strategy. Alright, so I just used Tone. I think I did a pretty good job on using Tone effectively in this game with all of his abilities. What I'll do now is I'll give you the tips and tricks to be just as effective in Titanfall 2 when using Tone. So rule number 1, you definitely want to stick with the group, at least keep them at eye distance, and then eventually veer off and hold down a point of your own. And then if you can, that leads me to rule number 2. Rule number 2, use that sonar lock. Whenever you can, that'll let everybody know where the enemy is. It also counts as 1 hit. And then rule number 3, when you see the enemy, lay down that particle shield. Whenever you see an enemy, lay it down. They will shoot you on sight, and because of that, you want to have that particle shield down so that they are wasting ammo and you can do damage to them. The more you do that, the better. Less damage that you will be taking, more damage that you will be delivering. And then rule number 4, when you get those hits and the tracking goes red on that Titan, fire the tracking rockets. Don't hold on to it, just keep doing it. You'll be amazed at how much damage you'll get. Even when they try to evade, it's hard to evade unless they're behind a whole building. And when you fire it, try to fire up wide. If they're on the right hand side around a building, aim left a little, see if it wheels around. If they're a little bit too far, aim up, let it go up, and then come right down. That's usually the strategy for using those rockets. And last but not least, rule number 5, when your salvo core is available, use it. Do the same thing as I mentioned with the tracking rockets. Aim high if they're a little bit far, or if they are around a building, head left a little bit, look left, and it'll swing around the building. You definitely want them at eye distance, though. And what I mean by that, as long as you can see them, use that salvo core. Obviously, if they're behind you and you don't see them, that'll be a waste. So use that salvo core whenever it is available, along with the tracking rockets. Well, that's it for me. This is C4 Destroyer from Reviewdork. Like, share, subscribe, comment, let us know what you think. I'm out. Peace.